Welcome to the Hawthorne Cottage Craft podcast. You can find me on Instagram as Kate_Hawthorne Cottage Craft, on Ravelry as a runner bean, and we have a Ravelry group called the Hawthorne Cottage Craft podcast, and Hawthorne Cottage Craft is all one word. Today is Wednesday, the 11th of April, and today's episode is a little unusual. It's not a normal episode, it is to announce the winners of the garment Galore KAL that we had running from October until the 31st of March. I ran this KAL alongside Selma, who is the Little Big Knits podcast, and we have had great fun looking at all the entries to the KAL. The threads are now closed and the prizes numbers have been drawn, but it's good if you haven't looked just to go over to the finished objects thread in both my group and in Selma's to see the entries. You'll get lots of inspiration for all the beautiful garments that have been knit. The rule was just simply to knit an adult garment, a sweater, skirt, something to wear that wasn't a shawl or socks or a hat. It wasn't an accessory, it was an adult garment. As I said, the entries were phenomenal. I think I was surprised by the response that we had. It was lovely to see that people were double dipping, that they were going from maybe from my group and going over to Selma's group and the other way around. Selma also had an extra thread which was for the first garment, and well done to everybody who has knit their first garment. And I had an extra thread which was the Mount Everest thread for anyone who had knit a garment that was over 1400 metres of yarn used. So without further ado, I want to tell you who has won. There were prizes drawn for the finished objects thread, there was a prize drawn for the Mount Everest thread, and also I drew for the chatter thread as well because there was so much chat. I didn't really get involved in the chatter too much. I did go into the finished objects thread and see and like all the photographs there and all the garments that had been knit. But thank you to everybody who took part and got involved and chittered and chattered and helped each other out and encouraged each other. That was brilliant. It was all part of what this is for. We can encourage each other and give each other inspiration. So for the finished objects thread, I drew some prizes. I did random number generator and I've all the prizes drawn for beforehand because I knew it would be quite faffy and awkward to do it on screen, and I'm not that professional. So it's all done. And I have the prizes here to show you as well as announce the winners. So for the finished objects thread, the first one I drew was for this bundle. This bag, when I announced the KAL and if anyone had wanted to donate, and thank you to everyone who has donated a prize. The prizes are beautiful, you'll see them all, and I can't thank you enough for everyone who has done that. But when I announced the prizes at the start and the call for prizes, Kira, who is a friend of mine who has emerald fibres, and I'm sure a lot of you now know about her bags and the high quality that they are, said she would make a bag for me for the KAL. And this is what she did. It's her sweater bag. And this part of it is velvet, and then it's lovely heavy canvas. Has pockets in the inside and a little tag to hang stitch markers, your keys, whatever you want onto it. But what the bag is stunning anyway, but what really blew me away was the detail of this sweater. When I was first working at the KAL, I was knitting my Fern and Feather sweater by Jennifer Steingass. And Kira incorporated that into this sweater. This is the Fern and Feather. So to me, this is a very special bag. So this bag and this beautiful yarn. This is from the Moon and Sixpence, and they are Irish dyers. And what is lovely is that they've moved to botanically dyeing yarn. And this is non-superwash, which holds a special place for me. I love non-superwash, as you know. This is sock, well it's not sock yarn, it's 4-ply. It's 100% superfine merino. It wouldn't be necessarily ideal for socks, but it is beautiful 4-ply yarn. It would make a stunning shawl. And there's 400 meters and the colourway is Blush. So it's botanically dyed, non-superwash, and this botanically dyed mini. So this is the first prize that I drew for from the finished objects thread, and that has gone to post 223, who is Lynn Louise Knit from Winnipeg in Canada. Well done. Your Marled Weekender by Andrea Mowry was just beautiful. I'm going to insert a photograph of each of the garments that I drew. Everyone's garments, as I said, were lovely, but I want to put in pictures of the people that I drew. So it was the Marled Weekender that Lynn knit, and that is what she has won. The next prize that I drew was for this, again out of the finished objects thread. This is Woolly Adventures, and I've featured Woolly Adventures before. They're very local to me here in Northern Ireland, and this is their Nep sock base. Beautiful colours. It's 85% superwash merino and 15% Nep, coloured Nep. So there's a beautiful tweedy Nep bits through it. And the colourway is Bright Spark. And the winner of this is post 268, who is Hildum on Ravelry. And I think is it Hild Marit? And you're from Norway. And you knit the Fern and Feather by Jennifer Steingass. So this is what you have won. The next prize is some All About yarn. I met Jenny at Edinburgh Yarn Festival and she donated this to the podcast. And this is her Happy Owl sock base, which is 75% British BFL and 25% nylon. And there's 425 metres in here. And the colourway is Frozen. And the winner of this beautiful skein is post 182, who is Karen P. McD. On Ravelry, I think that's how you would pronounce it in Ravelry, and it's Karen from launching Prince Edward Island in Canada. And you knit the Hideaway by Anna Maria Oatvoss. Again, I've probably butchered that name too. So Karen, this is what you have won. And the last prize that I drew for the finished objects thread is again some Moon and Sixpence. This time it is her non-superwash merino double knit. And it's organic non-superwash merino. Botanically dyed, and the colourway is Honey. It really is like honey. And there's 225 metres here for 100 grams. And again, there's a little mini to go with that. So the winner of this is post 117, who is Trine SP. Trine, you're from Denmark, and you knit the Featherweight cardigan by Hannah Fettig. And this is what you have won. So that's all the prizes for the finished objects thread. I will have put the names hopefully on the bottom of the screen, and any names that are called will be linked in Ravelry, and just to let you know. And if you see this and get the message, could you please send me your address and contact details so that I can get everything in the post as quickly as possible to you. So that was the finished objects thread. There were 301 entries. That was amazing. The sweaters are beautiful. I have now a queue and favourites list as long as my arm. It could take me a very long time to get those knit, just from the finished objects thread. But I was so impressed then with the Mount Everest finished object thread. 1400 metres is a lot of knitting, and we had 58 entries in that thread. So, and it was beautiful seeing the sweaters and the garments that were knit there. Congratulations to everyone who did that and who got finished. But the prizes that I have drawn for that, this is yarn that I had picked up from the Fibre Kitchen. who is, I think they're based in Dublin, but they're an Irish indie dyer. And this is double knit, 80% superwash merino and 20% bamboo. And it's beautiful soft yarn. And it is called Candy Cloud, and it really does make you think of clouds. The colourway is beautiful. So there's 3 skeins of this, which is in total 675 metres. It could be combined with something else possibly. Or a beautiful shawl. It could be knit from this. So the post that won this was post 20 in the Mount Everest thread, and that was J.A. Kelsey, Julie, who is from San Clemente in California, and Julie knit the Greystone cardigan by Sarah Cook, and it was beautiful. And again, I'll insert a photograph. So Julie, this is what you have won. The next prize that I drew for the Mount Everest was for this beautiful skein of yarn, another Irish dyer, Bear in Sheep's Clothing, who you've seen before on this podcast. And this was Bernie's colourway that she dyed for the Nottingham Yarn Expo, and that is the colourway NYE, Nottingham Yarn Expo. And look at those colours. It's blowing it out a bit. There's a beautiful green tint to it and lots of other colours. It's the colours, I think, from their logo, the Expo logo. I'm not sure, could be wrong in that, but that's all these beautiful colours. And this is her Bear BFL sock, so it is 75% BFL, blue face Leicester, and 25% nylon, British wool. And there's 400 metres here. So the winner of this skein of yarn is post number 40, who is Mag Har1, who is Maggie from Somerset in England. And Maggie knit the Ranch Coat by Hochi Locatelli. And it was beautiful. Again, another stunning garment. And the final prize for the Mount Everest thread is this beautiful skein of yarn from Craft House Magic. Ellie is another podcaster, and she donated this beautiful skein. It's 425 metres of 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, and it's Love as a Battlefield, and that is a stunning colour. And the winner for this is post number 43, who is Simona Maloney, who is Simona from Ohio. And now I can't pronounce this at all. Is it the Niger jacket by Ruth Garcia Alcantud? Again, I'm probably not even pronouncing that right. But it's a beautiful sweater, and I will insert a photograph. I love the cable in this sweater. There's a beautiful detailed cable on the back. But this is what you have won, Simona. So again, if the winners from the Mount Everest thread could message me with their details and their address so that I can get those off in the post. And as I said earlier, there was a lot of chatter went on in the group for the KAL, and again, thank you for that. And I thought really we should draw a prize for that. I've one prize for the chatter thread. I drew from post 2 to 235. Number 1 was always mine, so I drew from 2 to 235. And the prize for this again was given to me in Edinburgh, and it's from Erin, who's the Holland Handmade podcast, and the Holland Handmade company, yarn. She's back to dyeing yarn. And it was this beautiful green. Now, how tempted am I to keep green? But this is beautiful 80/20 merino nylon, and it's a one-of-a-kind tonal. So there's this green, and then there's coordinating minis. So this would make a beautiful shawl using all the minis. And Erin very kindly donated this. So I drew for that, and I drew post 157 Amos GW. So Amy, who I have met from Pennsylvania, that is for you. So again, if you could pass me on your postal details and I can get that away. Thank you to everyone who took part, and for all the chatter and encouragement. As I said, it was lovely to see everybody talking about their garments and getting excited and seeing them tagged on Instagram. As I said earlier too, if you haven't seen the finished objects, go over, the threads are still there, you can still look at them and see what everybody else has been knitting. Thank you to Selma, who ran this with me and encouraged, and as I call her, the sweater whisperer. She is always very encouraging and enthusiastic about sweater knitting. So thank you, Selma. We'll have to do another KAL sometime soon. The normal episode will again be maybe next week. I'm hoping to record and show lots of knitting that I've been doing and just catching up with you generally. So thank you again for everybody who took part in the Garments Galore KAL, and I'll talk to you soon.